Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you, of course, by Because Bitcoin. Happy Thursday, guys. I hope everybody's had a great week so far. A short week, but it is still almost over. As I've said the last 2 or 3 days, we are continuing to see how the market is going to digest the fact that, this is more or less the first. I mean, I don't even want to say it's the first full week of having it, but it does feel like the first full trading week of having the Bitcoin spot ETF and seeing how or what type of flows we get and what type of is it buyers, is it sellers? I think so far it's been a pretty good mix in between, with the exception of the big grayscale bear. But welcome, guys. I am Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max, Jackus, Tucker, and Dr. Will's Outlook. Welcome, guys. I hope everybody has had a phenomenal week. But real quickly, before we start cooking and sharing that big, juicy alpha, and we didn't get to the like threshold yesterday, guys. I mean, we asked you guys for 110 likes so that Will's Outlook could share some equity alpha, and you guys did not get there. So I was a little bit disappointed in that performance yesterday. But I will say we found even more alpha that if you guys get to 150 likes today, we might just share it for you guys. We might. And trust me, you're gonna really want this alpha. It's some of the rarest that we found in many months. So just something to think about, guys. And I'm sure we'll bug you again, but of course it means a lot when you guys smash that like button, engage, and enjoy our content. But yeah, I mean, I wish the market would give us a little bit more to kind of chime in about on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of like I've been saying, Bitcoin has been, I hate to use the word ping pong, but it has been playing ping pong a little bit between like 43K and 42K for the entirety of the week. Altcoins haven't necessarily liked it. I think there are a lot of altcoin setups that are showing a bit of promise here if Bitcoin is going to break up from this range, though, right? I think that every risk asset within the crypto market is more or less waiting for Bitcoin to show its hand. Is this a consolidation before we get another leg lower into the mid 30s, the high 30s? You wipe out all the stops of the range, you wipe out altcoin perps, altcoin longs, and weak hands. Or is this the type of consolidation that's going to break up as it has for pretty much the last few months? And if that is to happen, obviously you're probably going to see a big risk bid come in on altcoins once again. But yeah, just kind of waiting for Bitcoin to show its hand. But I think there are some context clues that we can derive from a few different altcoins that we'll talk about later on this stream. Equities, not too much to note. It's like we said yesterday, and really what we've been saying for a few weeks is that, these dates specifically, January 17th through February 2nd are the window of weakness for equities. You don't have as much supportive flows. That doesn't necessarily have to translate to downside, but the relentless momentum to the upside that we've had hasn't necessarily been present this week, which can't really be a full surprise. I mean, it only makes sense that you're seeing at this point indexes cool off a little bit, and you are seeing certain individuals catch a really big bid. I'd love to talk about some individual setups that you guys are looking at in equities today as well. But I do think that, even though the market's been a little bit stagnant this week, there are a lot of assets that are teeing up, I think, some really great setups for us here into the end of January. But would love to know what you guys think about that, as well as what you're seeing in the markets. I know Bitcoin hasn't really moved, but some of the altcoins are, and I do think that in general, some of these altcoins are painting fairly bullish setups on a I would say an intermediate time frame. But what are you guys seeing in the market?
Hey, before we go, I'm hearing an echo from you, Tommy.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, it's like the sound is bouncing from your wall back to your mic or something.
Is that better?
Not much.
Oh man,
it's like I even hear myself twice from someone.
Everyone, make sure that your echo cancellation is on.
Not me, I promise, guys. It ain't me.
Always Tucker, man. It's always Tucker.
It's literally never me.
All right, we'll get into it. Everyone just go to your settings and make sure that your echo cancellation is on. But yeah, guys, Thrilled to be here. Happy Thursday. What a day. What a day. I mean, look, today's show is called Did You Panic Sell the Micro Dump Anon? I mean, so it's a fair question to ask. I think it's one that needs to be addressed. Did you panic sell the micro dump anon? I sure didn't. Look, I'm going to be as clear as I possibly can be. I am trading this like we are in a bull market, like we are in the early innings of a bull market. I've been as clear as I possibly can be about that. I'm going to show a couple charts. This is dog whiff hat. All right. This isn't what I'm going to show you, but this is a good looking chart. And what a coincidence that 1 billion market cap is at the 1.618. That's interesting, isn't it? That's quite interesting. But let's talk about it. All right. Let's talk about it. I actually want to talk about total 3 first. All right. There's been this discussion, or debate on, are we in a bull market? Where potentially are we? Have we had alt season? Well, let's address it. Let's talk about it. All right. We're going to do new pane. This is Bitcoin dominance. All right. I just don't think you can make the case that we've even had alt season yet. Yes, there's been a lot of altcoins that have been running, a lot of fresh charts. I mean, a lot of old charts too, but look at total 3. I mean, we're basically just leaving our mega accumulation range, similarly to the one that we had, right here back in, I guess technically we left it in 2020, right? But in my opinion, we're just kind of hanging out above here. Maybe it goes a little bit lower, who knows? But this is the region. All right, we don't even need this on there. We don't need that on there. But down below here is Bitcoin dominance. This has been a Bitcoin dominance-led rally, undeniably. I mean, look, all year, this is Bitcoin dominance starting, even down here. So November, it bottomed in November of 2022. Let's just go to January, right? So right here, up until basically Q4 of 2023, Bitcoin dominance went straight up in a straight line. It went up 26%. That's not a small move for Bitcoin dominance. Okay. So yes, there have been altcoins running, but ultimately this is a Bitcoin dominance led rally. No question about it. No question in my mind whatsoever that alt season has not happened yet, especially given that total 3, which is the total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and minus ETH. It's basically just sitting right up here. So what I'd be looking for alt season is more or less the following. Let's mark this out. All right. So we had this little consolidation. And what's interesting about this time period is we actually saw one more Bitcoin dominance move up, which is actually what Tommy is expecting, unless that's changed from yesterday. So maybe it does something like this. We get one more Bitcoin dominance push up, retest the highs. Who knows exactly where? But then from there, I would expect Bitcoin dominance to basically do this and just go straight down. And when that happens, I would expect total 3 to basically go straight up in a straight line, similarly to what it did over here. As Bitcoin dominance nukes, total 3 goes straight up. And what else we can do here is we can actually throw Bitcoin USD on here just for some perspective. You can see that during this time period, when Bitcoin dominance went up and then eventually nuked, you can see that once Bitcoin dominance started nuking, like right here at the very top from when it peaked before alt season really happened, Bitcoin was already up at, 35K. It had one more push up and then it had its distribution. So I would expect something similar, honestly. I would expect Bitcoin to maybe make one more push up to somewhere in the 50s. And then from there, maybe consolidate, pull back, and then begin to distribute above 55K. And how high it goes, I guess time will tell. But while that's happening, I expect alt season to just go absolutely nuts. So there's just a lot of people saying oh, we're getting so frothy. This is perfectly in line with what we've seen for historical froth. And I don't see the signs yet. If this is really a bear market rally, then yes, it's frothy. But if this is the very beginning phase of a new bull market, then we haven't seen these signs at all. We haven't seen any of the typical signs of froth. Bitcoin dominance has been straight up in a straight line for over a year. If Bitcoin dominance had been nuking this whole time and alts were, leading without a shadow of a doubt, then yeah. But we haven't seen any of the typical signs. We really have not seen them. So I guess time will tell, right? I guess we have to be open to all possibilities, but yeah, in my opinion, it's looking like everything wants higher. But keep in mind too, with a consolidation like this right here back in 2020 before alt season really happened, we consolidated for like almost 4 months. We broke out of our blue zone here, our accumulation range, consolidated for 3.5, 4 months, and then finally started going up. So we could literally waste all of Q1 here, and everybody would just be like so upset that they're exposed and just churning their accounts and being impatient. But yeah, I mean, I need to see Bitcoin dominance nuke before we can really debate whether the froth is here. I do. End of monologue. Somebody else cut me off.
You were cooking, man. It's all good, and I agree. I mean, it's set up. It's in the charts, and all you need is patience and avoid lower time frame fuckery. That's it.
Yeah, very true.
It's been a week where Bitcoin hasn't really moved at all, but you're getting a ton of liquidity hunts on altcoins to the downside.
That's
And
also true.
and that's the thing too, is what we're seeing is, I mean, even on the lower time frames, like let's go to Bitcoin here. On the lower time frames, if you look at Bitcoin here, I mean, let's just go to the 6 hour. It looks like Bitcoin is kind of hanging on a cliff right now. But in reality, I mean, the lows are being respected, right? Like, here's the low, here's a low. Yes, we wicked here. We'll just call this like one low. The lows are being respected. So yeah, I mean, the perception here is it's very scary. Like when Bitcoin's sitting on the edge of a cliff, altcoins do the same thing every time. Like Bitcoin sits on the edge of a cliff, it looks like it's going to nuke, and then it literally will recover, do something like this, and then altcoins just gap up aggressively. So I don't know. I don't really want to get bearish into support, especially while I'm seeing pretty consistent higher lows, even if this was a nasty sell-off. Yeah, it's just not screaming like it's over, I'd be open to, maybe taking out these wicks like worst case scenario, and then it gets bought back up like that. But yeah, I'm still leaning bullish. I don't really see a reason to be overly bearish or concerned here. The trend is strong. Lower time frame trend is intact. What are we talking about here, fellas?
I do not even think we go that low because there is too many wicks, and the retail trader doesn't, use the very last wick. Retail trader thinks in a way where he wants the risk to be as minimum as possible. So his stops are very close, and we are talking about maybe the last 3 weeks there, like locally on this time frame, right? So that's like 41,900 or something. That's where the general retail trader stops are, and maybe we take all of these. That's possible, but I do not see us going even below, like 40, like below that Bloody Wednesday wick that we've seen on early this year. So yeah, it's a giant trap. It's a giant trap. I do expect some of these wicks to probably get swept. I would give it a way higher probability than just going up from here, but I do not see it just like straight up nuking.
I mean, it could just be as simple as this, right? Like,
Yeah.
we just take out this local,
Yeah.
these local wicks here, which is like nothing,
So guys, I I made a new channel in our Discord for questions because I want to reward our loyal Discord members. So there is a channel now called MC Questions, and people are dropping some stuff in there if we do want to get to questions at some point. But let's see. I mean, somebody was asking about Caspa, somebody's asking about Zeph. I don't know if you guys want to get to those quite yet, but
dude, I'll get to
I
them.
I actually made a tweet about Zeph a while ago where and how it should play out, so you guys can check that out.
Oh, and a stablecoin dominance chart, Max. I know that's one we haven't looked at in a while. Somebody was asking about that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, let's look at Zeph. Let's see, had some old drawings on there. All right, let's clear these up. I don't know what these are. Never owned Zeph, but I know there's a lot of people that are quite excited about Zeph. The first thing I notice about Zeph would be this move right here. This area.
I think we should take a look at Apple.
And I don't think I don't think
wait. Did you see, Max? You get a look at the. You get a look at the members on this stream. I saw that the camera is doing something wrong. You see
This is
that?
beta
Oh
testing.
my gosh, man.
This is beta testing, guys.
Oh my
Look, it's even shiny. They made it shiny.
Look at the
Oh
Apple
my
Vision Pro,
God.
man. Oh my.
It's a
Wow.
beta test, $3,500. Look, they even tattoo it on the side somewhere. I forget which side it's on. I think it's on the other side.
It legit looks sort of like a Batman man there.
He looks like Doctor Doom.
Yeah, so like,
It's the new Apple Vision Pro. I'm bullish. $3,500.
Man.
Can you turn your background off, Will? Because we're kind of getting
Oh yeah. My bad. I'm
scammers.
sorry, guys. Let me fix the background so you guys can get a better look at the headset here. Let me see. Edit avatar.
I mean, this is revolutionary tech.
I was just about to say that.
Check tech, good tech.
All right, let me virtual background. We'll just do none. There you go. Look, guys. It's a game changer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Wow.
make a sticker. in the
Nothing will be
Discord.
the same, man.
They couldn't fit the whole wording up here, so they did this cool thing and kind of added it around the mouthpiece to finish it off.
Oh man, that is hilarious. Oh wait, here we go. Wait, hang on, no. Okay, here we go. All right. Why is my trading view not working? There we go. All right, so getting back to Zeph, guys, I'm looking at this right here. Like, this was the inefficiency we needed to dip into. You could even just say right here, pretty thin move, and take out this wick. I think that everybody and their grandma probably wants to shove. I don't know why it's not working. Everybody probably wants to shove down there. I don't think they're getting even close to it. But yeah, this is potentially going to be your like deviation zone. Yeah, my favorites bar doesn't work anymore. That's super frustrating. Huh. All right, I guess we'll manually do this over here. But this is going to be your deviation zone right here for Zeph. So something like this, something like this. I mean, at this point, I'd probably just wait for like the reclaim. It's funny. I don't know where any of the tools are because I have them all saved. Here we go. So I'd probably wait for, whatever happens here and then a reclaim, and then it probably just goes, just goes nuts. But yeah, I would be looking for, this $16 level. I'd be looking for that. But this is starting to look like your deviation zone, truthfully.
There's a nice FEG there on the 3-day too, Max.
Let's see.
We're right in it.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
We filled it perfectly. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
probably your spot, I'm fine waiting. Like I would buy some for sure, but truthfully, I'd rather just wait for, honestly, I'd probably just rather wait for this level. Like right there. Like let's just get back above that. It's $17, still cheap enough, I think just giving yourself a clear level of invalidation is probably worth waiting if you're not in already, right? But if you can get back above this, then you can, put your stop down here. Unless you're just trying to diamond hand this thing through a bull market, right? Then you don't really need a stop if you just believe in the tech. But yeah, this is the level. This is definitely the Zeph level.
Yeah, I have the same outlook that be dropped down here to the deviation, deviate there, and then it gets sent most likely. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you could simply just wait for the reclaim. You don't even have to try and overthink it. Just wait for the reclaim. When the reclaim happens, you can start kind of dialing in lightly. I would let it play the way you got it set out there. It's like, because I think it will tap the bottom a few times before it actually rips off. So just to make sure you don't get a failed invalidation, and then just set your stop below that candle that you're looking at right now, that bottom candle.
Yeah. Let's see, like this.
That's us literally giving you play for play, like how we would play this, like just so you guys know in the stream.
This could be interesting right here. Like this could be the play. You know, I would say, let's throw this price on here, man.
I think, Max, if you drew it from the 3 previous highs, the peak high to that current high, not the bottom, but like that middle where you started, you're actually sitting on top of trend. No, up, all the way up. And then take that and angle it underneath to the other 3 previous trends. You broke trend right there.
By the way, GG, I have reposted this left.
I know, that way. Yep.
I'd have to put it in log, yeah. So in log, this is, you know, or I don't know. I mean, if you want to go from here to here, I don't know. I don't really love this trend, honestly. Like it's
not the greatest, but I would just do all candles touches, which means that you broke trend sideways, in which case you're coming back, reclaiming the range, and then you're going to take off.
This is my trend. This is my confluence. Just because I have this horizontal level as well. You know, like you get back above 18, it's probably going to send. So.
I mean, the new AI trading at Alpha Vision Pro is definitely telling me different.
Oh, man. All right. We wanted to talk about, was it stablecoin? I mean, we could look at, oh, man. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we talked about.
Evan keeps asking about BNB. It's his favorite coin of the year. Evan's been a long time standing guy. What do you guys think about BNB? We can get into this first.
Bullish.
All right.
What do you think, Max? It looks a little hot.
It does, but here's what I keep going back to is if you look at the USDC and USDT one, we completely busted through it. So I'm kind of hoping that the Tether one just does the same.
Well, I think those are more indicative of, I don't even think it's like a rotation of capital. I think it's new capital coming in. I think all the new capital is going to USDC and everything else other than USDT. I think USDT breaks out when we get the major trend shift. Right, when Bitcoin's like tapping that high end range.
Yeah, I mean it's looking a little, it's looking a little heavy, right? But if you include if you include BUSD, USDT, and USDC broke out of this channel, USDC and USDT broke out of our channel. So the big question is like, is that going to happen again here?
Hey, Matt, could you throw an RSI on this? You see that strength on those inflows?
Yeah, I mean, right here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at inflow strength, that's really low, which means that you're probably going to bounce really hard because you're sitting at you basically tapped your 30. It looks like stochastics also correlating with that. It's not like stochastics overheated and RSI is rolling the floor, because then in that case you could probably roll the floor a little more. But because you got correlation between your stochastic and your RSI, I would kind of tend to argue it's going to bounce maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean, if this bounces, it's bearish for crypto. That's the thing. Like it's the opposite, right? So
I'm just saying, like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. I'm just like, this is what I'm seeing here. But it could be bearish in a sense as far as offloading, or it could be bullish in as like the hard part is gauging like what part of the cycle we're in, right? you could see a heavy inflow of USDT on exchanges, which means new liquidity, which pumps up USDT. In which case, you're not going to get a major sell-off.
Well, let's do this. Let's put up total. We'll put total on the bottom. Hide the RSI. I mean, looking at total, like if this channel, and they never last forever, right? But if we just look at historic tops and bottoms, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good for a long time. But again, just like we saw with US, including USDC, if you had sold it all, you would have dumped all of your your Bitcoin or your crypto at when Bitcoin was at like 25K. So, or 28K, wherever, right? So it's like it does break eventually, but the question is the Tether one going to break? Where it's just Tether right here. I don't know. I mean, it's a good
Yes.
question. You think it's going to break, Jagus?
Yes.
Tell me more.
No.
Everyone's quiet today. Where are my guys at today?
We are giving you the room to cook, Max.
Maybe I'm done cooking.
No, you're not.
Is it confirmation bias to say it's gonna break, man? I don't know, man. It's a little
I
sketch.
already gave my reasoning on the USDT dominance, why it's gonna break higher, but I feel I'm reserving this one for the BB Discord members only.
Fair. They did have if we want to move on, they did have a few other questions, man. Jito, SHDW, Win, SAVM.
They also wanted to know about soybeans by the looks of those like buttons.
Oh man, I'll teach them. Will
Dude, we don't deserve the like button today, man. Everybody's half asleep right now. What's going on? I don't want any more likes on the stream. We haven't earned the likes today. Everybody's asleep.
Here's the thing. What are we looking for? I guess specifically in USDT. For me, it's almost like looking at the VIX, right? The VIX mattered until it didn't. And then the VIX continually just kept getting crushed and crushed and crushed. And I think USDT and USDC and all these are going to break out and break out and break out. And it's gonna play in the opposite direction of a lot of people's biases, right? I think that's always what we tend to see. What I'm seeing here too is you got a triple tap high on the first cycle, double tap high on the second, and then that from this view, and now we're at 1. So I mean, does it end here? Because that's 3, 2, 1. Does it implode, or are we expecting some kind of major breakout here? I would argue a major breakout. But BTC's trading sideways. A lot of people haven't even considered BTC hasn't even broke below the 42K range. Like everybody keeps, hey, we're gonna fall. Hey, we're gonna fall. It's like freaking over and over and over again on Twitter. This is the top, guys. This is where you sell, and your range is still holding support. I mean, granted, we have some shit coins running, we have some altcoins running, but the market hasn't popped off. The signal for a market end, in my own perspective, is not 1 or 2 or 3 shit coins running. It's the entire market going absolutely, 10 IQ level type buying, and they're all just aping into everything they can see and not even caring about anything. And it's like, hey, number go up, I'm in. And we're seeing a little bit of semblance of that, and that's just because you got your younger crowd who's going to get rinsed until they're like 60 because they don't know how to trade, and they're going to lose it all and lose their 401ks and everything. But then you got your savvier crowd who hasn't gotten played yet. I mean, look at last cycle, 2021. They were able to rinse Mark Cuban. They were able to rinse almost every movie star out there, almost every single rapper, singer. A lot of them got rinsed. I mean, some of the rappers were a little bit smarter about it. They actually scammed the people versus the people scamming them. But I would say, like, if you're looking at your savvy investors, they were all over there just getting absolutely obliterated by getting played in the narratives. And it's going to happen again. These people are not as smart as people think they are. They're really not. Like, they have money and they've probably went about it the legal scamming ways, but they're literally getting rinsed every time they come into crypto.
Man, have you seen that video from Dave Portnoy? Guys, have you seen it?
Yes,
Which one?
bro.
The latest one. He was like, "Man, what is going on?" In this? Like I do not remember exactly, but basically he ran like a 2 minute run. How he keeps getting fucked in crypto.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm saying. Like people think these people are smart because they have money. It's like no, they're actually idiots.
He was like, the Winklevosses told me to buy, I bought, and I sold. It kept going higher. I bought the top. It dropped. I sold. It went up. I bought it. You know, he's like, what do I do? These links were
He's not a great investor, I don't think, man.
I saw he bought or he sold the Pico bottom on FTX, like the Pico bottom.
Did he?
Yeah, that was it. That was the one I saw. Yeah.
But he was like, he was
Unreal.
honest about it. He was like the Winklevosses told me not to sell, right? But I just couldn't help myself. And yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm just playing around here with like the stable coins. I mean, you can see that actually USDC is starting to move up a little bit, right? But basically after SVB happened, it just got rugged. Like USDC market cap after
Wait, this is the crackdown on Coinbase, right? It's the SEC suing Coinbase, isn't it?
was that it? Was that the reason for it? I mean, it happened like right
think so.
after SVB happened.
Yeah, about 3 months. I think it has to do something with also, maybe it's the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, I think, because they had some capital located there, no?
Yeah.
They were investors.
They had
So,
like 5% of their reserves at Silicon Valley Bank, which is
Yeah.
why we had the USDC DPEG
Yeah.
that weekend before Uncle Sam bailed them out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's noteworthy, right? Like if you look at this is just USDT divided by total, so USDT dominance. And then this is basically USDC and USDT dominance. And then this is BUSD, USDT, and USDC dominance. You can clearly see like broke out of here. We're going to need this to break out. Like we're going to need it to break out and probably break out soon because if not, it's an egg McStuffing, you know.
It's over.
It's
Nacho,
over. It's
Nacho
over,
said-
man. It's new lows. Probably Capo was right. You know, it's over.
Look, Nacho said he bought at 32K. He checked his portfolio recently, but he did sell at 20K. So, no, I mean that makes sense. I think a lot of people sold at 20. I think a ton of people sold below 20 looking for 10. Right? They're like, I'm gonna get this last 5% drop down because I've been holding the whole time, and this is the place to sell. It's like, man, make it make sense, right? It's that statement. Make it make sense. The math's not mathing. People don't, they can't do numbers. You held from 70K to 20K and then sold. The math's not mathing. But I do think like as far as USDC, like this mattered more, I think, in the range of the lows, right? Just like VIX mattered more when it was above like 20 going to 30. Like it mattered more there. Like this to me, because the flip that could happen here is you could see heavy inflows, which means people just rushing into crypto, pushing USDT, pushing USDC, pushing all these up. And then even though you're not getting any significant downside and you're seeing crypto go up with it, that's when you're in your real parabolic phase. And I think we're heading into that parabolic phase to where you're going to start seeing all these things shoved together. And I think that's just the thing that we have to account for. A lot of the stable can technically stay in stable because it's being staked or being provided as liquidity, right? So somebody's providing the double-sided liquidity for liquidity pools. Somebody's providing the liquidity for staking and so on and so forth, floors, and those will remain in stablecoin. They're not going to actually come out of stablecoin.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, I want to think that these do sync up, and I also do have other charts that are suggesting that, we still have plenty of time to go. For example, this is a chart that we talked about. This is a chart that we talked about yesterday. This is Bitcoin divided by the M1 money supply, right? So, there's a chart here that's telling me, okay, we can still move up to this range high, which is like 30% away. Where, you line up all these tops, and I mean, you can see, right? Like, let's actually go through it. So let's mark these out. We'll make it green. Where's the color thing? Here it is. All right, so we'll mark these out, right? So let's look at some tops. So this top for Bitcoin hitting the range high of the M1 SL chart happened in June of 2019. So we'll start up here, right? June 2019, right there. And then June 2019, right there. And then June 2019, right there. Next time it hit it was April 12th. So let's go find April 12th. April 12th, right there. April 12th, right there. April 12th, right there. And then again at 69K. So November 8th, November 8th, November 8th, November 8th. So I look at this now and I go, well, why would we not sync up across the board? Like, why would this chart not reach range high when the past 3 times we've had confluence across the board where, our stablecoin dominance charts have basically rejected from key levels. And at the same time, we've had a chart like the Bitcoin divided by M1 money supply reach its range high. It's just, I'm seeing contradictions, right? So, this stablecoin dominance chart, USDT and USDC breaks out. Or I'm sorry, this one has BUSD. The 3 major stablecoins breaks out, and then USDC and USDT breaks out. So why would we not move up here and create some synchronicity? Why would we not? Because I'm seeing a lot of other charts that suggest we still have plenty of room. So I don't know. I would kind of expect us up here, maybe closer to 4%. I really would expect it, just because this chart has been so spot on as well. The Bitcoin adjusted for M1. I don't know how I could expect it to not work here.
I'll tell you this: if we get a major breakout like what you're thinking, because if you look at USDT, USDC, all these have been in like this capitulatory downtrend, right? Which just means you're seeing more and more asset allocation versus stablecoin. If we end up in any type of like scenario where we break out of the range on USDT specifically, I would come to maybe argue the point that we could be, heading into a big dump later. But the next cycle is going to be absolutely insane, right? If we're seeing inflows like that are switching the trend that has been just in this capitulatory downtrend for all of its existence, especially dominance, right? Then, in those scenarios, I would think that the next cycle is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Which of course means I'm all in.
Can we actually pull the BTC chart? I think we will finally get some sweep of those lows, and it could be entertaining. And maybe in the meantime, we can discuss how heavily the Bitcoin market is manipulated or controlled. It would be the better word, by Wall Street. Maybe Tommy would love to touch upon that one, if he has the voice, because he's feeling a little bit sick today. But anyone can jump in. But I'm like throwing this discussion idea while we watch BTC here, wreck some of these lows, most likely. What do you guys think of BTC being controlled now?
In the terms of being controlled, like you
The
mean
price.
like, I mean, sure, price is always suppressed and pushed at certain positions. I mean, just like the bottom that was formed, that wasn't formed magically, right? You saw the stock market and crypto bounce at the same time. So I think like when you see those type of plays, you have to understand that there's a mask behind, behind every curtain in a sense. And somebody's playing playing the moves and buying in big. And when you see something that's always shit talked by Congress, by these big money players, but bounces when the stock market bounces, come on, guys. Like you got to know who's behind the curtain at that point. It's not difficult to understand who's behind the curtain. If they bounced at different times, sure, we could discuss it and be like, all right, yeah, crypto bounced like 6 months after stocks. Yeah, they're probably not really correlated, but they definitely became very correlated this cycle from the lows. I mean, look at Bitcoin's low and look at S&P's low, and you'll see the easiest play in the world if you just watched all the lows get hit at the same time. And Tesla too, really. Tesla's kind of a really heavily market overall. That's what a lot of people don't understand too. Tesla's heavily manipulated. Like, I don't know who's playing that chart, but somebody is heavily manipulating Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla was one that kind of surprised me, by the way. Tesla was one that I expected a lot more of in late Q4 and into the beginning of this year, and it just didn't happen. The chart looked pretty good. Yeah, Bitcoin really is going to want to just take these lows, isn't it? You can just tell. It just really wants to take these lows.
It does. I
Just
feel like
boom.
Tommy was about to say something because he unmuted.
Yeah, I mean, just going for that nearest liquidity. I think that's an area where if you're a bull, you really want to see a reaction from that price point to justify, less so the idea of upside, but more, I'm not typically when you see these nukes or these post-range nukes, we've carved out the range. It's just a matter of now we'll probably fade the direction that we sweep first. So obviously, if you're looking for upside, you kind of want to see that sweep happen to the downside first. But I will say the fact that we've just kind of been sitting here for a few days and we've been letting a lot of open interest build up, I'm less inclined to think that we just roll off a cliff and nuke here. If we are going to sweep the lows, I think it's probably just going to be a sweep of those lows rather than, we have all of those stops sitting below the range. When we do come back and rebalance those, I think we're going to get them all at once, honestly. And I don't know that I think that we're going to do that right here.
And think about too, Tommy, like think about the short interest that will come into play as soon as we go to sweep. The second we go to sweep, everybody's going to short the low end of the low, right? And I think a lot of people are not considering that when it comes to this overall move. I did want to switch gears a little bit to some stocks, but I don't know if we have time or not to get into
let's
that.
do it. Let's do it.
I wanted to know if we can get into, or I can share screen. That's fine.
I can pull it up. I just wanted to label this out for everybody. I think this is interesting. Okay. So this is, we see this play all the time, guys. We really do. Let's do bottom, or actually we'll do top. We'll do right. And this is also the weekly open. We kind of just pumped right off of, the weekly open. So it wouldn't be surprising now to see that level get taken out, to see something like this. Take out Monday's low plus the weekly open. Wouldn't be surprising at all. Not at all. But anyways, you want to talk about stocks, Will?
Yeah, we can get into
all right, let's do it.
Maybe a side-by-side of NVIDIA and AMD.
Yeah, let's do it. NVIDIA and AMD, man. That's interesting. Look at all these, dude, these Bitcoin ETFs, man, just jeeted just as soon as they could, they just jeeted everything, man. Just jeet. Terrible, man. Look at all this. Ugh, grayscale, man. Look at these grayscale boys.
They're offloading. What do you expect?
Yeah, God, they're something else, man. They just ruin everything. Fucking Barry Silbert. Big week. Big week. Yeah, big week for Barry. Bad week for everybody else. Oh, what is
Eh,
this chart? Oh no, what did I draw here? Oh man, we'll get rid of
Now,
that propaganda. We'll get rid of that.
no. Well, the drop down, yeah. But I do think your price target's on point. Now, I did have a lot of people laugh at me before for talking about this and the price I was talking about, but that was the $800 range. And I think we are definitely heading that direction. And I think if you look at AMD's overall move here, I think we're looking at maybe another month before this thing actually plays out. If we put these on the monthly right here,
The monthly,
Max,
can I go higher?
I mean a decade possibly. No, I'm just but I think it's much cleaner here to look at these charts. Like you can see the heavy uptrend, the pull back into the trend. So
Yeah.
if we look at it, I think basically on AMD or sorry, on Nvidia, you had like maybe like 2 or 3, I think it was 2 months before the breakout. We're just hitting our range right now on AMD. And I think like see that green candle you see there on Nvidia. I think we're gonna see that probably next month or the month after on AMD.
I mean,
We're
this
gonna
looks
see a similar
very
sweep.
similar. This looks quite similar. I mean, it's
Oh
not
yeah,
perfect, but I can definitely see it.
yeah. It's a little bit of suppression or a little bit of hiccup there in the middle in comparison to Nvidia, but it's lagging it, right? It's lagging it, and that's what a lot of people are not considering. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Right around the 250 range actually is where I was thinking. Is where you're probably looking at for AMD. So, this is why I talked about, a potential long position from here the other day. I hadn't taken it yet because I think I still have a little bit of time. That's why I didn't post it, but probably another month or two, we'll probably see some kind of lag underneath the high here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll actually break out with that big green move, like just like what you did on NVIDIA to the upside. And again, I spoke on this quite a few different times. I think it's more due to the CHIPS Act than it is due to specifically everything runs. Plus, also higher demand for chips, higher demand for GPUs. People are understanding that you're getting people to move into things like language models and stuff like that, and AI. And a lot of people think it's AI is just a narrative, but there are people actively working in the background to create real AI, and they have to utilize chips and GPUs and so on and so forth to do that.
And it's obviously very bullish for companies like Nvidia and AMD that we have Apple's new VR AR headset coming out. Will it's good for the entire industry because it's such an unbelievable product. And Will's probably he's going to buy some for the whole family, he's not just going to buy one Apple Vision Pro. He's going to buy multiple, man. He wants everybody to have access to that technology. But real quick, I want to address a question here, man. Samuel in the comments asked a question. He said, Jackus, is your promo code still on?
Absolutely,
Jackus, that's
man.
up to you, man. Is your promo code still on?
It is on. It is on until it's there, right? So use it quickly before it's gone because it's not going to be there forever. And
Jackus,
right
can you
now,
give him some steps as to how he can sign up with your code if he wants?
that's a good advice. Guys, you can go on my Twitter page and check my bio. There's a link, very clean. You just click it, set the gold tire, and then proceed, right? After you type your emails in. And then you put in the code on the left side, Jackis50, and you'll get a $50 discount.
That's
Jack
a pretty
is
good
with
deal.
code.
Yeah, Jack is with code.
Now, I did want to get into if you scroll out a little more on NVIDIA, I wanted to kind of show people where I got my price target and so on and so forth. If you put it up back on the double decade chart, aka the monthly, and you draw a trend across the highs on all of those moves to those peak to troughs, you'll notice that I think it's roughly about 800 is your high end range here on the overall.
Are you talking about like
Yeah.
this, Will?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Now, granted, Nvidia could potentially break out of this and break to the upside, but I would just take this as kind of like your stop to pay attention is when you come back up into trend, right? Now, could you fail before hitting trend? 100%. But I think the way this momentum is playing out, this is a channel, right? So in reality, you're probably looking at going much, much higher. But you want to angle that down a little more there, Max. You want to come down further, and then you want to line that high and that low on that bottom portion too, and then the top. Yeah. Now I would angle that a little more, like the whole thing, just kind of like
That's pretty clean. I mean,
I don't know. I don't look.
you know, I get you want this, Will.
I want you to measure out the highs and then run the lows.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit. I mean, we
It
get a
doesn't.
deviation.
Yeah, I guess we could angle it a little bit more to the way you had
I mean,
it.
it works if you're okay with the deviation here. Like,
No, I'm not.
you're
Let's
not okay with the
angle a little
deviation?
more. Yeah,
Not okay, Max.
I'm not okay with that in the channel because it invalidates it. Okay,
Either.
let's go. Let's go a little more with something like that. At least we're touching, right? And then maybe run the highs a little bit. Are we roughly in the same range? Okay, I guess we can kind of go with that, but it's like a little bit of deviation above the high, a little bit of deviation above the low. Yeah, but let's go something off of that and look at our 1618 too.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you're gonna want here, man. This is gonna be the spot right here.
It's gonna be about 750, 710.
Yeah, 1.618 is 710. I mean, that's your spot. You know, potentially top of the channel, depending on how you want to draw it. 1.618.
Yeah, we could definitely get a failure there. I think we far exceeded it. Oh yeah, look at that. We hit the red zone on that one and literally had to cool off for a long period.
But what I like about using these as confluence, right, is so from this high in October to this low, we still have the 3.618 from this move. And then if we draw a new one from this high that was set in November of 21 to the low that was set in October, we have the 1.618. So the 3.618 from this nuke and the 1.618 from this nuke are both at this 700, 710 level. This is your spot. Lots of confluence.
On that first run up though, you could see we exceeded the 1618. Yeah. And then we exceeded the next fib even by a little bit. We deviated above. And that would be my expectations, is that NVIDIA has so much momentum, it will probably deviate above the 1618 into that $800 range and then come back down.
Yeah, it could for sure. I know Tommy would be happy with that. I know Tommy's an NVIDIA long or.
I am.
So looking at that and looking at AMD, to me, it's almost like the potential is much better on AMD.
This was the most disappointing move that I've maybe ever seen in my entire life. Yep. And I'm happy that I cut this very, very slightly in profit. But this was such a disappointing move from Rivian, man. I'm actually still in shock that it did this. We initially took this trade in our Discord right here. It was like just under $19. And the idea was, we were looking at this region. All right, we're like, all right, this is literally mega demand right here. And look at us just curling off of this mega demand for NVIDIA or for Rivian. We caught this huge move up. We're like, this looks fantastic. Absolutely great. And then just as soon as the new year starts, it just completely nukes. Just completely nukes, man. I mean, maybe it's doing something like this where it's going to come back down and take out, this structure. I mean, this would be very, very predatory, right? For it to just come down and, take this out. I didn't think it needed to, so basically we caught this move, didn't lock in profit here, and then basically just got out very slightly above break even. It's just such a disappointing move, man. And on top of that, we also had, we had this monthly level that we were above for just a minute at like, $24. Clearly that was the rejection spot. But yeah, I don't even know how I feel about Rivian right now, man. It's just, clearly there's a lot of sell pressure because this was a very clean move. We should have gotten some follow through on it. This curl, this circle down here, spending months on top of this demand zone just to nuke right back down to it is terrible, man.
Yeah, that's where Rivian really tricked a lot of people, was that round bottom. But I would say too, you are in that demand zone. You're just above the previous high of the previous demand. And so even though it's predatory, it's still kind of in that range where you want to see things. I would say too, it's partially due to Tesla's underperformance, right? Tesla should be performing a lot better too. I just think there's not as much appetite at the moment for EVs as there was more towards when people were actually bidding these things. But if we go to something like, say, Palantir's still doing fairly well, and that was a play we took fairly early too into the cycle, and that one did exponentials.
Yeah.
We're
So looking
kind
at
of
Bitcoin,
cheating
it
right
does
now,
look like
man.
it does look like Bitcoin is going for these lows. So we'll see.
Max, let me show you something. Man.
Go ahead.
Nvidia's pumping, guys. Nvidia
Let me
is
just pull
literally
Tommy.
ripping.
Oh yeah, it is.
What do we
Holy
think about
shit.
this?
Nvidia is going.
I like it, Tucker. I definitely like it. Is that
like those
is that the
lines?
previous week low right there that you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I think so, actually. Hang on. Is it?
Let's see.
No, it's lower.
Now you know what the funny thing is, Max? I would have gotten people into the Nvidia play literally days ago had they gotten the like button up.
Yeah.
Just saying, man, like people sitting there like thinking we're playing and stuff like that. Like it's like, dude, I'll give you the alpha. You gotta be able to, help us out, we'll help you out. And it's not even costing you a penny. It's literally just you clicking a button.
Man, that's a nasty candle, boys. What did we say? We said it was doing the limp meat a little bit, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm, like I mentioned to our Discord a bunch, like I'm open towards, Bitcoin going back and I guess technically sweeping below 40K, but I just don't contextually really think that makes a lot of sense. Like I know it's a possibility, but I'm really just leaning more towards like a sweep of 41 worst case, and then we start moving up. So, I mean, I guess time will tell, right? But
yeah, that could go deeper. I
Yeah,
like
like,
these
I mean-
lines, though, man. I like these lines.
Just line it up with that lowest wick there. That's gonna be about as deep as you're gonna go. Really, if you violate that lowest wick, you're screwed.
I don't know. So Tucker, if you go to like go to the daily or the 2-day, either one, that move up at the very beginning of December.
This?
Yeah, that was a pretty like thin move. So it wouldn't surprise me at all to see us wick back into that. I mean, that's just like a giant FVG at the end of the day. Giant inefficiency in the chart. So it wouldn't surprise
this
me.
one perfectly, man.
We did, yeah. And I don't think we have to go back down, but if we did dip into one or two more of those, it wouldn't surprise me. And I also don't think it would be unhealthy. I'm not planning on it, but it's in back of mind where like if we went down there, I still think it constitutes like a healthy pullback. So
I posted before any of this even occurred. I said and I have it on Twitter dated. And I told people, I was like, your lows are 42, 38, and 33. I was like, I think 33 is not going to happen. But, anywhere is all the way down to 38 is a potential here for the low end range.
Yeah, I mean, if we pulled back to 38, that'd be 8%. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's really a drop in the bucket from percentage standpoint, but
these altcoins would get absolutely
smacked. Yeah, alts are getting 8% turned to like 80, and for some 180, to the downside.
Everybody makes fun of me for being super heavy Bitcoin and ETH, and then there's days like today, Everyone wants to make fun of the Bitcoin and ETH holders, but guess what? Your alt's down 10%. My ETH is down 1.8.
Slapped.
Yeah, man. I mean, I own shit coins too. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, people meme me for being heavy ETH, being the underperformer, but I think at this point in the cycle, it makes the most sense, and then days like today, I'm a comfy spot holder, are you comfy being full net worth long some speculative shit coin?
Yes.
Probably not.
Yes.
I got some dumpster fires in my portfolio, man, and I expect them to do exponentials over my entire portfolio.
Yeah. I mean, look, you got to be okay with days like today. I mean, this shit happens. In my opinion, this is nothing, man. This is a micro dump. Like, this is literally a micro dump. That's it.
We call this a test dump for the test net. Enjoy.
Dude, I knew this was gonna happen to Soul, man.
The fail.
Yeah, the fake breakout. Oh man,
They've done it so many times at this level, man.
And then the
That's
fake
what I'm looking
breakdown
for.
into the range.
That's what I'm looking for right there. Punt that. What is happening? Punt that. There we
So
go.
he's gonna post it on here live for you guys, and he's not gonna bid it. So you
No,
guys
probably
know.
not. Actually,
He
I
does
don't
this
know,
every
man.
time, and then he's like, "Oh man, I should have just bid that."
I mean, dude, I just have so much spot soul and so much whiff and other things that it's just like,
Guys, Nvidia, even on the monthly, is absolutely tearing.
what did you say, Nvidia?
Yeah,
Oh man,
I think we see $600 Nvidia very soon.
very
God.
soon, man.
Remember that gap up?
Bro, they don't care about
That
no
will
gaps.
get filled eventually. I'm telling you that is going to get filled. It's going to be a little bit, but
I
it
mean,
is going
that's
to
like
get
a
filled.
50-point gap in the chart, man.
Yeah, it's massive.
That's going to be
Well-
your shove spot. Like at some point, maybe second half of this year or early next year, there's going to be a market wide pullback, and you're going to see price in that gap, and it's going to be confluent with a retest of that previous high to the left, Tucker. Because that high
Yeah.
is right within that gap. Yeah, you shove the retest of that high plus the gap fill.
Yep.
That's
Don't expect a full fill. It's a
no, right there, partial fill. That's
Right
your
in the middle.
Yeah.
your next. That's it. It will be back there one day. You're gonna get that spot.
That's going to be your recession at 2025. That's
Yeah.
coming that nobody's going to see.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a shove right here, man. Boom.
Generational wealth. Some people are getting generationally freaking absolutely obliterated.
Someone asked me a question here, Max. Do you bid more Caspa here? I mean, let me talk about this quick. Then I'll give the chart back. I tweeted this out this morning. I mean, look, Caspa's pulling back like everything, but I don't really care because it's just sitting on top of this 1.618, which is precisely what I've wanted to see, is just consolidation, reaccumulation up here. So no, I'm not really bidding anymore. I would probably bid sub 10 cents. Like I've got a nice little bag I'm just hanging on to. If I saw us down, on a wick or like a, really aggressive sell day, down maybe sub 10 cents or right at 10 cents. Really, here, I'll zoom in. Like if I saw these wicks get taken out, you can see this. This is at 9.5. It probably gets sucked up pretty quickly, in my opinion, unless like the market's actually going to nuke. I'd maybe bid a little bit more. I've got some stables still on the sidelines, but what I'm really looking for is Caspa Bitcoin and Caspa ETH to stop bleeding here pretty soon, where they both historically, all of 2023, during the two major reaccumulations for Caspa ETH and Caspa Bitcoin, they both bled for 65 days, and then they stopped bleeding and slowly started to move up. So that would put the next Caspa move, at least against Ethereum and Bitcoin, sometime probably very, very end of January or early February. So whatever happens from now until then, not overly concerned as long as I see Caspa at least respecting like 9.5 cents. So yeah, I mean, I would expect outperformance from Caspa soon, but in a bull market, just to contextualize it, soon doesn't mean like an hour from now. When I say soon, I'm talking like within a month, give or take, and you have to be patient. Or at least I'm being patient. I'm looking to swing Caspa for probably a 3x. Like I think it's probably going to move up here, and here's what I'll do is I'll put up this Sol USD chart. So this is basically what I'm looking for right here. I'm looking for Caspa to basically respect the fibs just like Solana did last cycle. And that would be basically for Caspa, the 2.618 is 35 cents. So I don't, I'm not overly concerned with what happens here. I like that it'll stay above 9 cents, 9.5 cents, but I do think it's going to make its move up there probably sometime March or April-ish, but I mean, that can take a while, right? Like you got to sit on your hands. So either way, am I bidding more here? No, I don't really need to. Like, I don't view this as a deep discount from where we were just at yesterday. Yesterday we were at, what were we at yesterday? 11.2. We're at 10.6. Nah, I mean, if we were down at 9 cents, I would probably scoop some more up, but I don't really view this as doing anything for, my average cost. So we'll see.
Yeah, I like it.
I'll go back to you,
35
Tucker.
cents, man. That's a big move.
Yep.
I mean, if you zoom out, though, I mean, it looks like a good first pullback.
Everybody wants that perfect retest of that flat top right there, Tucker.
You don't need it. You got the fill you were looking for on that wick, bro.
Yeah,
You're
they're
not
not
getting
getting
any
it.
more.
They're not. Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
it.
it's going to 35 cents. Like, I don't care what happens right here. I'm pretty convicted that, we could definitely see sub 10 cents again, but I don't think we're going to go down and fill that wick entirely. I really don't. I think that was like a flash crash. But yeah, I mean, 9 cents is on the table, 9.5 cents. But ultimately, I think that line Tucker has drawn is pretty concrete, and it's also our 1.618 fib. So
here's the thing too, Max, is like that coin, you could tell by that wick, is being heavily market maked into a range, right? Like, look at the bodies. You could literally draw a perfect line across all those bodies. They buy up to that point and stop, and then retail buys from there. They buy up to that point and stop, and then retail buys from there.
yeah,
And and I think, like, if we were to see a massive breakdown on Bitcoin, you see that wick right there, everybody, on Caspa? That's what you'll probably see. And 90, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. None of you will probably buy that. None of you will buy that. So you're selling higher to buy lower to end up buying higher again because you're not going to buy it. You're going to see a move like that if it ever happens on Bitcoin somewheres in this cycle before we rip. And you're going to be like, oh, it's going to 10K. And then you're going to be sitting here at 52 and be like, it's going to 10K, and then it's going to be 70. You'll be, all right, I got to enter now. We're above all-time high. It's like you missed the meat of the move. You missed the entire cycle because you get psyoped into thinking that you can buy lower. Like, these guys that tell you, like, oh, this is where it all ends. Like, it's, what does it matter? You don't even know where to enter. You don't know where to exit. Like, what does it matter if it ends there?
Yeah, you gotta have higher time frame conviction with something like this because it's jumpy. It's gonna take a while. I mean, look at before the last move that Caspa had from 5 cents up to 15 cents. It took, I mean, it was lagging Bitcoin and ETH by multiple weeks. It was chopping, consolidating. It didn't look great, honestly. And then it gapped up 3x in what, like 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. So it's like you have to be patient, and patience really stems from conviction. If you don't have conviction in it, then you're gonna cheat your bag. It's that simple. But yeah, I mean, I like this, Tucker. This is an interesting visualization. I mean, this is the path. I don't know exactly how it gets there, but like I don't think you're gonna go much lower. Like I said, I think we could see 10 cents again for sure, or sub 10 cents, but I don't think you're going to get a huge discount. I mean, people, in my opinion, they're expecting a retest of like 5 cents or 6 cents. I really don't think that happens. I really don't think so.
I mean, it could just do some crazy shit like that. just ride these lines up, man.
All right, I'm gonna go mobile real quick. Can you switch to my screen real quick, Tucker, just for like 2 seconds?
Yes. Oh wow.
That's how I sleep at night, knowing I'm invested in crypto. I just want you guys to know that. Okay, that's how I sleep at night.
That's
So
Will
you guys
sleeping.
keep panicking. I'll keep buying. Okay, you can switch it back.
Oh my goodness.
Funny guy, Will.
Somebody asked about Cass Soul. Whoa. Never looked at this before. Interesting.
I don't know if I see anything there.
Yeah, I mean, you could say you kind of lost the trend there. But yeah, I mean, they're just so unrelated.
You know what it looks like to me? It looks like Twitter, which has done absolutely nothing.
Twitter?
When it was a publicly traded stock,
me?
it did absolutely nothing.
You know what it looks like to me? Is this?
Yeah, I don't understand that concept there, AZTV, because you need an actual blow off top from all of crypto. You had a few coins run, and that's not indicative of did shit coins mark the local top.
Yeah, I don't. We talked about that in the beginning too. Actually, I want to pull this back up. So just in case you missed it, I'm gonna Tommy the screen right now. So this is total 3. I don't think we can. I really don't think you could say that shit coins or meme coins mark a local top of any kind, because look at this orange line here is Bitcoin dominance, and we didn't even see Bitcoin dominance puke for any of this rally that we've basically had the past 6 months or so, or less, like 4 months. Bitcoin dominance has basically been up since November of last year. It bottomed out November and was up 20 or 30%. So, I mean, typically what you're going to see at the very end of a cycle is you're going to see Bitcoin dominance doing something like this. I mean, let's take a look at what happened last cycle. So this is the orange line is Bitcoin dominance. So you'd be looking for Bitcoin dominance to do this, and start to like round out after a nuke. And right now we're at like the top, so I think what you need to see is you're going to want to see Bitcoin dominance start to nuke and then form a bottom. And then you can say, okay, maybe that was a top. So yeah, I'm not seeing, I mean, locally, if we're talking about local tops, like multi-week tops, yeah, I mean, it's possible, right? But if we're talking about like global cycle tops, I'm not really seeing it at this point. I'm just not seeing it. Like I haven't seen, I don't know how we could call like a global top marked by altcoin blowoffs with Bitcoin dominance literally up 30% in a year. I don't see that. I think if we saw Bitcoin dominance down 30% in a year, Bitcoin dominance during the heat of the bull market right here, Bitcoin dominance dropped 40%. And from that point, I mean, total 3 went up 750%. So Bitcoin dominance for this rally right here went up 10%, and total 3 went up 64. So I mean, nice move, right? But Bitcoin outperformed. Bitcoin dominance went up. What we want to see, again, just to repeat it, we want to see Bitcoin dominance down. If we're really talking about like a global top, not local, we want to see Bitcoin dominance down 20, 30, 40%. And we're going to want to see total 3 up, 3 or 4x, something like that. That's when I think you get like a serious blow off top. And subsequently, you'll see something like this. You'll see Doge dominance, which Doge dominance is slept on, but Doge dominance is important because Doge is the Bitcoin of meme coins. So if we're talking about like real froth and excess, Doge is going to pump again. You'll want to see I mean, look at the here. Let me clean this up a little bit. We got a lot of stuff going on here, but this is important. Okay. Let's get rid of this, get rid of all this, and we'll start fresh. Okay. So look at the clear signs. All right. Get rid of this, get rid of this. Oops. Hang on. We're about to cook. All right, we're going to label these just to be clear. So this is Doge dominance. And then this is just Bitcoin USD. And then this one is Bitcoin dominance. So we've got all of our charts clearly labeled here. And if we look at what happened, we'll mark this out right here with a horizontal line. What do we see happen here as we start our real bull market, right? We see Bitcoin starting to distribute a little bit, right? It still had 50% to go. You know, it still had, or I mean, I guess from there it went 100%, pulled back 50% to there. But Bitcoin was in like the latter half of its bull market, still went up. You know, it was choppy. We had like a 30% pullback after this, if you'll remember. But we saw Bitcoin dominance peak, and we saw Doge dominance bottom. Doge is the Bitcoin of meme coins. All right. This is when meme coins and shit coins went on your crazy runs. So Bitcoin dominance goes straight down. Doge dominance goes straight up. Total 3 during this time goes straight up. You know, and Bitcoin starts to distribute a little bit, right? So I mean, it went up, but I would say that, you know, the majority, the meat of the move was already behind us. So all I'm saying is it's very difficult for me to wrap my head around Bitcoin dominance being literally up only for a year. It's hard to tell because it's squished on here, but up 30% in, you know, a year's time. We're just starting to break out here for total 3. We haven't seen Doge dominance start to move up yet. We haven't seen Bitcoin dominance start to move down yet. So I don't think it's accurate to say that we've seen, you know, a meme coin season or an alt season. It just, the signs are not there. The data is telling me it's different.
You know what it reminds me of, Max? It reminds me of the beginning of the year for Bitcoin in 2021, when everybody was trying to call the top and saying Bitcoin was over. And then all of a sudden, what do alts do towards the summer? They rip another, 1,000%, 2,000%. Then what I do at the end of the year, 5 to 10,000%. Like, people just they never get it, right. They always want to sell here because they think it's a top, and then they want to buy lower because they think they know where the bottom is. And then what happens? Everybody gets washed out of every single position. You buy exponentially higher. Why do you buy exponentially higher? Because people are always chasing the same things. They don't know how to rotate capital. They just continue to chase the same coins because those coins made them money. And that's how you lose 90% of the time, by the way, is chasing the same things over and over and over again. Unless you're chasing things like ETH and BTC. Outside of that, everything else, it'll stop at a certain point, and then you're just sitting there trying to chase something that's just not moving anymore.
And so one thing, I mean, just to be completely, you know, unbiased, and if we're just talking about the facts, what would like a very bearish scenario be here for Bitcoin dominance? I mean, if we're being completely honest, right? Like Bitcoin dominance can, you know, Bitcoin dominance could make another stab up and the whole market could nuke, right? So like, let's find an example of that. Let's see here. So I mean, we could literally be right here and I could be viewing this all wrong, right? Like we could be, I mean, it could be more like this, and then this happens over here, I guess, and this cycle is not different. And, you know, maybe this needs to be extended. So it's possible we're in the, you know, the pre-COVID nuke spot. Like, I don't think so. But looking at Bitcoin dominance here, it started to break down, right? And then we had the COVID nuke. So it's possible, I suppose, just to be, you know, impartial, just to be unbiased, Bitcoin dominance starting to break down here. I guess we could see the nuke of all nukes, you know, and then a bull market, something like this. I don't really think so, you know, but Just trying to be fair, I suppose.
Max, Will said it best. Can you go and highlight his post there?
Hang on one second. All right. Will said, time to stable up and rebuy. It's like, where's he going with this?
Wait, let me show. I have some alpha for this guy.
Go ahead. Go
One
ahead.
of the guys asked about Manta. Okay, look. Top left, Manta, XAI, Tia, Say. Wix, get filled. I mean, is it a free
Every
5x?
time.
Is it a free 5x? Maybe. Like every time Wix get filled, every single time.
Was Jito a free 5x?
I have no idea. I haven't even looked at that chart. I don't think ever.
Jito will run multiples eventually, but it did not fill the wick right away.
Yeah, Franco was asking about Jito. Actually,
I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm so scared. You don't even want to know how much of my portfolio is in shitcoins right now. All right? That's how scared I am right now. So I just want the audience to be aware.
Look at how long it took too, right? So like Tia till it filled the wick, 10 days, right? What is this? XAI took like what, 4 days, a week. Okay. Stay, on the other hand, took like 3 months. I know that says 810 bars, but it's like 3 months. I already did it on another time frame. But yeah. So
is this a free 5x, Tucker?
Yeah, I think it is. Man.
Dude, free 5x, man. Wow.
Free 5x, man. It will fill the wick. What does Jito look like? I haven't even looked at Jito.
Look, I'm going to tell you guys this. Will's outlook is never without hat. All right? He's never without hat.
Will, aren't you interested in selling some of your crypto here, man? It looks like the top is in.
Absolutely not. I'm adding to my shitcoins today.
Hey, we got Hentai Avenger calling for the top, man. What do we do with that information?
Look, AZ, I have Bitcoin. All right, I chose Bitcoin over ETH. Granted, the performance has been very similar, but I am definitely shitcoining. I am definitely shitcoining. I mean, me and Tucker just hit a banger the other day, right? We had a freaking banger the other day. Everybody's sitting there crying about price not moving. Literally dropped in. Tucker got it at a 5x. I got it at 15. Like, it's not hard to find liquidity in these markets. People are sitting there crying because they just don't. Again, it's a skill set thing. I get it. But at the same time, there is liquidity here, and there's lots of liquidity flowing. There's no possibility you're getting a 15x in a bear market, guys. There's no possibility you're getting a 15x if you hit a top. Like, it's just not going to happen.
So, Will, this is just healthy pullback, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not hard to see what's going on. Like, I'm going to bull post until it's not bullish anymore. That's just what it is. Like, when I think it's not bullish, I will say it. I'm not the person in the room who's gonna be like, guys, we're gonna go up like 2022. Everybody's like, guys, it's gonna bounce. It never freaking bounced in 2022. Never did. And I was calling for more and more downside. I was putting the shit out of everything because everything was dropping. And I was making a lot of money on shorts. A lot. While everybody was in there telling everybody else to buy the bounce.
Jeez, man.
Kind of looks like the shove spot, though, Tucker, honestly.
On what exactly?
Everything.
On everything?
I don't know how I can be more clear.
Actually, I will say, Love and Win, we do have the rotation. Wabi is the rotation master. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking to be dominated, he can take care of that for you with the next rotation. So definitely
dude,
pay
we just
attention to this feed, and we also have it in the Discord if you want it to be even easier for you to figure out.
I mean, Tucker, look at this, man. Look at this. I'm taking a Tommy. We
Tommy.
just swept the weekly open. We swept Monday's low. We now have symmetrical deviations above both sides of the range. This is probably just like an inside week, man. You know, like we're just this is just nothing. Like everybody's freaking out, and we're literally just inside of this range right here. You know, like what are we talking about? You know, everybody's panicked. Like I would only be nervous about price at this point if I see us down here. And look at the sell volume on this candle, man. This highlighted deep red, like two standard deviations of volume as an outlier to the downside. Like, let's look at this. I would only be concerned about price if I saw a daily close below 41. I'd be like, okay, we're probably going to take out these wicks right here. You know, if we were like accepted down here.
Mhm.
But we just took out Monday's low. It's like everyone's just so panicked. I don't really get it.
Well, here's the thing too, Max. Everybody's trying to sell for what a 5% move, 3% move, 2% move, like on Bitcoin. I understand if you're like,
they enjoy poverty, Will. That's the problem, is they enjoy it.
he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the grocery store. This can of beans is 58 cents. I'm gonna go home and wait for it to be 55 cents. How much gas did you waste going to the grocery store? Just buy the damn can of beans and stop talking. Right?
Buy
Like
the damn can of beans. Oh my
you're
god.
spending more money in gas to get there than you are to save the 3 cents on the can of beans.
Dude, if you guys aren't net worth shoving Dimension in the next few days, I can't help you.
Dude, I am. I've got a lot of stable coins sitting there, Tucker. And I'm literally just shoving it in Dimension. I don't know if I love Manta. I don't know. I don't feel as spiritually connected with the chart at this
No, I
point.
agree. I agree. Definitely heavier.
Dimension,
Like,
it's a shove, man.
yeah, big
shove.
Mhm.
And this is that dip right before where everyone's like, it's over, and then Bitcoin will be at like 43 when Dimension launches, or like 44. And then it's just buyback season, man. Fresh chart with Bitcoin rallying off of like an intra-week low. Forget about it, man. Talk about a free 5x. I just hope it launches at like $1 billion market cap and not $5 billion. So,
dude, it's trading at $4 on that pre-launch
that
thing.
shit's not real. That's
no. I was talking to Wabi. Usually it's never less than 50% of whatever that is. You're looking at $2 probably, $2-3 maybe.
Dude, when does the Jupe airdrop hit? That's got to be really soon,
Jan
right?
31.
Oh man, dude, because here's the thing: is like the chart is always telling you what's about to happen. We're about to get Dimension. We're about to get Jupiter airdrop, and everybody's concerned about Bitcoin dropping 1,000 points. You know, I just feel like we're kind of cleaning up a lot of the liquidity underneath us and just executing some bullshit stop loss runs before we like hit turbo run it back season.
What does CoinAlyze look like? Because aren't we just adding open interest?
I do want to point out that
not,
I will be joining you guys in Dimension when Wabi says later on that I'm not. All right. So it's here live on the show, recorded.
Don't FUD the bags, Will. Don't FUD the bags.
I will be joining the Dimension play. All right.
Good.
I do think that it's a play with a fresh chart. I do think ultimately people get absolutely rinsed at the end, but I'm gonna play it. All right, I'm gonna play it. I keep it real.
Will will happily sell you his bags at a 10x. He will be happy to sell you those bags.
And I'll be moving to the next one. Yeah, it's not hard. It's not a hard play. People make it more difficult than it has to be.
Wow, what is this, man? Oh my. Oh, what is this? Whose chart is this? Wait, why is Pepe not dumping when everything else is dumping? Could it be floored? Huh.
Could be, man. Could be.
Max, do you remember when people were sitting there laughing at Bonk?
Tell me how this cycle.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Tell me again how this cycle is completely over when ETH BTC just bottomed. Tell me again. Tell me again how it makes any type of sense. Tell me. How is this cycle over when ETH BTC just bottomed and Bitcoin dominance likely just topped? Someone walk me through it.
Can't do it, man.
I
Our
can't.
shitcoins are about to
I won't
pump, bro.
in the answer. It doesn't make any sense. This is an intra week. Like, bro, look at Bitcoin dominance here. I know it's like kind of a meme, but the real fun begins when this happens. Bitcoin dominance nukes ETH BTC straight up. This is
Guys,
when the real fun happens. So what are we about to do right now over the next 6 months? Bitcoin dominance nukes, ETH BTC, boom. This is what happens here. And let's pull this up as well. We're going to pull up Bitcoin USD. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna keep freaking out about this. Like, people just they can accept it or they can't. Like, look at where we were in the cycle when this rotation happened last time. All right, Bitcoin was in inning 5 of 9. Ethereum was in inning 3. Okay, this is what we're doing right now. Okay, this is where we're at. The rotation is happening. ETH BTC just bottomed. Bitcoin dominance probably just topped. Maybe one more push up. And this is when alt season happens. Bitcoin has, Bitcoin's going to do something like this. 55, 60K, something distribute. Then we get a pullback. Then we run it back. Okay. Here we go. I don't know how else to put it. How could we possibly have a global top without Bitcoin dominance even chilling out? I don't know. I can only say it so many times.
There is a couple data points, Max. One being my shitcoin just 3x since last night, so I think it's over.
Dude, but that's how you know, Will. Dude, people literally think a 3x is like a crazy thing. Do you remember peak bull market, man?
Yeah, it was like
3x was
100x.
like no one wanted to sell it a 3x, man. Like, nobody.
Max, I had a friend. I'm going to tell you just a tiny story. I'll make it short. I had a friend. There still are. They went into a project, right? And I fucked up and didn't get into it. They went into a project with 5 BNB. All right, 5 BNB, maybe 3 or 5. They went to a project with 5 BNB, shitcoin, by the way. I think they came out from that project and keep in mind they figured out all this out in one cycle, how to market make and everything. They came out after market making that coin after making so much off it. I think at 1.5 million. That was one play. That was one play. And like these are the type of gains that people just have no clue actually happens in this space. It's not you could turn 10K into 7 figures very easily. And vice versa. You could turn 1K into 6 figures very easily. It's just about being able to move with the market. There's safer plays and there's riskier plays. But like that's why when people start talking about 2 and 3x, I'm like, what is that? It's like 2 or 3%. That's what it is. Like 2 or 3% moves. I'm trying to make exponentials.
Yeah, if we if we V recover this little dump, we're alts are gonna rip face, man.
Dude, they're going to, Tucker. Like they're going to. This was Champs put this up there for me. This is an interesting look at it. Max put Bitcoin dominance on the weekly, then draw a line going from July 10th, 2017, and look where Bitcoin Dom is struggling. Not saying it's done, but look at where it's getting stuck. Want to hear your thoughts? Yeah, I think it's this is clearly a hot level. Bitcoin dominance should continue. Like, Bitcoin dominance should never get back up into this region. Like, as the crypto asset class expands, in my opinion, like this is not going to happen back up here. I would be open to a scenario where Bitcoin dominance makes another move up, like especially if Bitcoin does actually nuke down to sub 40K. Then I would expect Bitcoin dominance to probably, pressure the highs again, like do something like this, maybe even take out the high and then go down. So it'd be something like this, like hit this trend line up here, and it'd be like a complex prolonged retest. And then I think it would nuke. So that could set things back, we could be talking sometime in even Q2 Like this could take a while. Who knows? That's not my base case. My base case is that, we already had that retest. Like, look at this right here. In my opinion, this was your trend line, really clear trend line. And then you had this, fake reclaim up here back in, first week of January. So yeah, my base case is that top is in. Maybe, maybe we could do something like this, more shallow retest. But yeah, I mean, I think that this is potential deviation territory. Like, I think it's a really important level that you noted there, and I'm happy that you called it out. But my gut is telling me that this is probably, deviation bruv territory, and I would expect Bitcoin dominance probably back down to like 44, something like this. Like I like this level a lot, at least just for like a temporary drop, sub 45%. But yeah, I'm looking at this as a deviation as of right now. But we'll see. Like I said, if everything nukes and Bitcoin goes to 39K, which is on the table, although I think it's not likely, it's not my base case, I'm open to it, I'm prepared for it, then you'll see Bitcoin dominance move up. But I don't think it'll soar to 60% or anything like that. I don't at this point. I really don't.
Guys, I'm legit getting rugged here.
What do you mean?
Fucking iPhone, I hate it, man.
What happened?
It's changed my settings somehow, and I'm having troubles joining on my exchanges because I wanted to buy the dip as we discussed. And now I have to contact the customer support and go through some shitty process. And in the meantime, the opportunity will be gone.
Oh no! What exchange are you trying to get logged into? It's not letting you.
That's my personal thing, but
Oh,
but yeah, it's what we discussed is happening, right? That we will see that sweep below the last 3 lows. We are getting just that. We swept those 3 lows and not even the one below, and are bouncing. But yeah, I'm mad.
well, I don't know. I don't think it's going to V recover. I mean, I could see it, I could see it doing this.
I could still see it. Yeah, I could still see it sweep the low one more time because, like as we discussed, the time pressure is important, and the longer we spend down here, the more it creates the sentiment that we are breaking lower, which is something I like for my bullish thesis.
Yeah, this is nice symmetry. Take out these 3 lows, sweep Monday low and weekly open, start to run it back. Yeah, that's nice. That's good stuff. That's real good stuff. Let's do this. Let's look at, and then we're gonna end the show. We're just gonna do one more. We're gonna look at CleanSpark and some of the Bitcoin miners. Why is Carvana in my Bitcoin miners? Oof. CleanSpark. This is inverted, by the way. CleanSpark getting destroyed. I own some CleanSpark. Not a lot anymore. I took some profit over $10, but yeah, man. Prometheus. Where are you, Prometheus?
It's over for Prometheus.
It's over. We're in a pretty clear trend, in my opinion. Like this is pretty clean. I would expect this level, like my freaking mouse won't work. It's this bar right here. I would expect like this level kind of needs to hold like $6, and then I think you can, you could work your way down here, but it could take a little bit. But I would expect, this is inverted, by the way, but I would think that you're going to need $6 to hold. And I think, maybe you could entertain a little bit lower depending on when it gets there. I mean, even $5. That's an interesting level as well, actually. Going a little bit lower like this. And then we could maybe count this as, why is my bar at the top, like, won't let me click on. There we go. So this is, you know, little deviation. This is a nice level too. So, I mean, I think $5 could happen, you know, hit that trend line, come back, retest that level, $5, and then honestly targeting like $20. So I would say if we come back down to $5, I might buy some leaps. I know Tucker probably will too. Maybe we buy some
For
clean
sure.
spark leaps. End of 2024 leaps, looking for like $20.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's getting smoked right now, but that's okay. It's okay. I like this level. I'm happy I took some profits over $10. I still have like half of my size on, so that's getting smoked. But you know, it's something I believe in. Like I think this makes a lot of sense right here. Cool. All right, guys, we're gonna call it here. Guys, thanks so much for being here as always. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. I know it started off a little bit slow, but I think we definitely found our groove towards the second half of the show. If you haven't yet, please consider liking and then also subscribing if you are new here. This is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We are live Monday through Friday at 10:55 a.m. Eastern time with this full cast of characters. We talk charts, we talk price, we talk narratives, and generally we just have a great time. So please consider supporting us by liking and then also subscribing. Furthermore, if you check out the first link in the description below, it will take you to becausebitcoin.com/premium, where you can sign up for our Discord. All of our BB analysts have active positions. We post premium analysis that we don't talk about on Twitter or here on YouTube. And also it opens a line of communication between all of us 24/7. So never miss a beat. Take your trading to the next level and join our Discord. The price currently for the top tier package, the gold one, is $149.99 per month. It is tremendous value. We also do 2 hours per day of live voice calls, once in the morning and once in the afternoon, with the entire Because Bitcoin team and community. Truly, truly unparalleled experience. And no doubt you will see tremendous value out of $5 per day. Now, on top of that, we also have a new product launching right around the Bitcoin halving. It's called BB Terminal. It's basically a Bloomberg terminal, but for crypto guys. When BB Terminal comes out, the price of our services is going to go up tremendously. So if you want to be grandfathered into not only our Discord, but also BB Terminal at a lifetime cost, and when I say lifetime, that's not one time, but forever, of $149.99 per month, and you'll be grandfathered in. That price will be honored forever as long as you don't cancel. Sign up sooner rather than later. The retention in our Discord is very high, and for good reason. You will see why. It will definitely help elevate your trading, and it's a difficult market to navigate. I mean, it's too big to cover alone. You really need a solid community and a group. And yes, there's an entry fee of $150 to get into ours. It's $5 per day. But at the end of the day, it should pay for itself in no time. And also, we can't just open it up and have it general, because we tried that once and the quality just diminishes like crazy. People come in there and they don't take it seriously. So think of it as a ticket just to maintain quality and help support what we're doing and building here. And again, we're rolling out awesome products. We're constantly adding new team members. And also, we just invested a lot of money and time into BB Terminal, which is going to be included in the membership. So this isn't just like some pop-up shop group chat. You will see exactly what I'm talking about when you get in there. So give it a try. First link in the description below. At least go on our website and you can read all the reviews. Like, we have people write reviews all the time. Take a look at the reviews. You'll see what we're talking about. But with that said, Tommy's feeling a little bit sick, so I'm going to take us out today. Guys, thanks so much for being here. What's that?
Just really fast before we close out, I just
Yeah.
wanted people to know that you can either buy an Apple Vision Pro for $3,500, which will take money from you, or you can buy a year
Yeah.
of BB for roughly about, what is it, about 15, about
It's like
2,700, you know,
$1,700. Yeah, it's like $1,700.
$1,700, which will help you make money. So at the end of the day, it's your decision. Do you want to give away money, or do you want to make money? That's really the decision we have to make here.
It's a great point, Will. It's a great point, Will. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for being here. Everybody stay safe, stay off the leverage. Check out the first link in the description below, take you to our website. Definitely give the Discord a try and get grandfathered into this current price. And we will see you guys tomorrow for Friday's episode of Market Check. Take care.